Hey, everybody. This is Henley, co-founder of Fora. We've got a little announcement before we start this week's episode. This has been a super fun project this fall. We've really enjoyed making these podcasts. We are going to be wrapping it up at the end of the season to focus on some other fun things happening here in Fora HQ. So we've got some special episodes coming up. This one is going to be about ILTM, the craziest Oscars of travel in Cannes. Next week, we've got some sleep scientists coming on to talk about jet lag and how to get through the holidays without it. And then a wrap up end of year, looking back at everything that happened in travel this year, the trends, the top picks, the things that didn't work out so well, and more. So please tune in and then stay tuned for what comes next.
Welcome to Speedtalking with Fora, a weekly debrief that keeps you up to date on the latest trends in travel. Here's your host, Henley Vasquez.
Hey, everybody. I'm Henley. I'm one of the co-founders of Fora, a modern, tech-forward, and inclusive travel agency based here in New York City. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about ILTM Cannes. If you tuned into our Virtuoso Travel Week episode, you know a little bit about the craziness of travel conferences and what we do when we are there. Now, if you've seen us on Instagram, it looks like what we're doing is just like partying all the time and drinking champagne. Really, what we're doing is working very, very hard in order to connect with our suppliers, see other people in the industry. So I'm going to break down a little bit, though, what is ILTM Cannes. All right, so how did the conference go? Let's talk about what it is to begin with. It's 3 days long, except for there's trips on either side. Usually people are arriving early and staying after, possibly, if they still have the stamina. The days start around 9 o'clock in the morning, they end at 6, and they are full of 20-minute meetings. This is held in the same palais where they do the Cannes Film Festival. So the red carpet stairs where you see people going up, we are running in there and running up and down between 3 floors of meetings all day long. It is hectic. It is educational. It is tiring, but it's a lot of fun. Now, after the end of the day, do we go home and catch up on emails? Oh, if only. No, the cocktail parties start at 6 o'clock, followed by more cocktail parties, followed by dinners, and then generally events. The events are intense. The first night, actually, Brian Boitano, the famous figure skater, was meant to be ice skating, except for the ice rink had gotten rained on all day. So instead, he was just hanging out inside in the party. I got to meet him. He's amazing. The second night, Paris Hilton was DJing. The final night, there's a rotating dance floor. Yes, our Fora advisors were on the rotating dance floor. No, we did not fall off. So the event lasts all day long. It starts very early. It ends very late. By the end, people have no voice. I still am working on getting my voice back, drinking a lot of ginger tea. And it even continues in the airport. If you are in the Nice airport on the Friday after ILTM, you are seeing every single person you know, including people who maybe are not doing so well after the final night. Personally, I was well behaved, but as I was walking back to my room, there was a man entirely passed out next to the elevator bank. This is the kind of stuff that happens in Cannes. We never say who it was. But even on the plane on the way back, I flew La Compagnie, which is the all business class French airline. They added a flight from Nice to Newark. This is not a route they normally fly in December because there's not that many people going between Nice and Newark then. They added a route just for this event. I flew back with essentially the entire travel industry, which continued networking and cocktailing on the airplane. So we really go and go and go until we collapse. So what is the point of this and why is it important to be here? It's not to make it look like we're just having more fun. It's actually a really tough time of the year to be traveling. It's December. We've got the holidays coming up. Any travel advisor worth their salt is pretty busy trying to plan all the amazing holiday trips that are coming up in December. But it's important because everyone comes together. Once early in my career, somebody told me that Cannes is really like the Oscars of travel. And it does feel that way. It used to be a much smaller conference. It's really just kind of the owners and the top people from the agencies and the supply side. Now it's grown, which I think is great because it gives more opportunity for people of all kinds to be there. But it is very much a place where people come to actively do business. So you are closing sales while you are running around. You've got 20-minute meetings. You've got 10 minutes for the next one. You're running to find somebody to say, oh, can you walk me through what these Botswana lodges are? Thank you, John Roundturner of Abercrombie & Kent. These are the things that you are doing. Even in between the meetings, you're adding in extra meetings. So it's a great place to be to really be able to get stuff done and also to be able to learn all kinds of things. One of my favorite factoids that came out of it was I was meeting with Twin Farms up in Vermont, and they were talking about what they did during the pandemic, which I know we're so busy with travel. We sort of act like this happened a while ago. It didn't. And they now have this series of new picnic spots around the property. The picnic spots were built by employees during COVID. So obviously it's outdoors, it's up in Vermont. And what the general manager said to his employees is like, listen, if you want to work, come pick your favorite spot on property and build something special that will always be there for you. So now if you're a guest at Twin Farms, you can walk around and see these platforms or wooden huts, but they're built by everyone from housekeeping to groundskeeping to waiters to chefs who really had some spot on the property that they love so much. And now this is a piece of what helped keep them like active and engaged during COVID that is there for the guests. So there's the kind of things that you just aren't going to learn unless you're sitting down with these people, having conversations and getting up to date on everything from like what is their best new room, what is opening, to really special projects that otherwise never get highlighted. So I love it. And I was so proud of our advisors. This is not an easy thing. Again, like I said, it's the end of the year. Many of them had been in other places beforehand. I'm going to talk through what I did beforehand because these are some really special spots. And they're tired, but our advisors were there. Bigger group than last year. Next year will be even more. Just working so hard and really building their businesses and representing Fora so well. I was so proud to be there with my team. It made me so happy, whether we are on the rotating dance floor or like high-fiving each other in the hallways of the conference center, sitting at lunches, like laughing our heads off, crying maybe a little bit when we're really tired. But it's just a great place to be and to build your community. And also for me, who haven't done this for a long time, to get to introduce them. See, I can't even talk anymore. I'm so tired. Introduce them to some of the people that I love so much in the industry. So that's about it. Now let's talk a bit about what I did beforehand. Fam trips, I think we've mentioned them here. Familiarization trips. There's a lot around this. So everybody's coming over to Europe. It's cold in Europe, but we go and we bundle up and we try to see some properties while we are there. I was in Paris first at La Fantasy, which is a brand new property just opened earlier this year. Same designer as the Fifth Avenue Hotel and Phuquet's here in New York. If you love that sort of super over the top, really pretty and rich design, you've got to go see La Fantasy. It's in the Ninth. It's away from the tourist crowds. It's a really cool local neighborhood. Great restaurants, great shopping. Loved it. From there, we flew down to Saint-Tropez. Actually, I'll be honest, we flew into Nice and then we helicoptered in Saint-Tropez. If you have not landed on the lawn of an amazing villa in a helicopter, have you even been to Saint-Tropez? Well, I got to. And we got to visit Lily of the Valley, which is a place that I knew is very good. It's one of our top booked hotels. The feedback is always great, but I hadn't been. I got there. I was obsessed. I have another hotel down there that I really, really love. And I've always thought of this as like the second choice. It's not. It's amazing. It's colorful and vibrant. Even in December, there were French couples sitting outside having wine with lunch in the sunshine. Not as cold, obviously, as Paris. And really kind of reminded me that Europe and off-season Europe is such a special spot to be. Go be cozy, sit by a fireplace, eat great food in Paris, maybe helicopter in Saint-Tropez, but go and explore these places off season because it's still, the sun comes out, you're having some great wine and great food. It's a wonderful time to be there. And for me, it just got me really excited about summer 2024. I'm like ready to book myself back into Lily of the Valley. They have a really cool beach club. By the way, it's hard, if you weren't aware, it's hard to find like beaches on site in Europe. That's typically not the way. Often you're like driving around, you're going to other beach clubs. Lily, they have one at their hotel. So I'm ready to go back, bring the kids, or maybe not, and have some time there. And this is really what our advisors are doing. Follow them on Instagram. If you look around, you'll see some of the stuff that we're sharing. They were out there exploring as well. They're in St. Moritz. They were in London and Edinburgh. They were in Antibes. They were seeing hotels where they're there and working their little tails off so they can plan amazing trips for you. So my takeaways? Well, my takeaways are that as grumpy as I get before these conferences every year, and I say, I'm so tired, I don't want to do it again, I go and they're spectacular. And I love our industry. It's so special to get to spend the time there. I appreciate so much all the effort that our advisors and our suppliers put in to being there and creating these experiences. And we're excited to bring an even bigger crew next year. Now, today, before we go, we're going to do something a little bit different. If you're tuning in and if you are on our wait list, and I know there's a lot of you, we are working our way through it, but if you are on our wait list to join as an advisor, we have a secret code for you. So when you fill out the application, put in Speedtalking, name of this because I talk too fast, put in Speedtalking as your secret word, and that's going to enable our team to pull you up and review your application sooner. So come join us. This industry is so great. It is, you got to start somewhere, start at the bottom, work your way up. So someday you can be running around Cannes with me too, maybe in a helicopter. All right. We will see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't travel too far before hitting follow and subscribe. Check in next week for the newest episode of Speed Talking with Fora, and our take on what's currently happening in the wild world of travel.